to the Charles Meantime Show. Right now I'm going to show you how to hydro dip. Let's cue the music. So hydro dipping, what is it? How do I dip? How do I do the dip? First, most importantly, it's your graphic. So go on Google hydro graph or hydro dip. Pick your design you want. eBay's a good source, Amazon's a great source. Second of all, what you're gonna need is a series of chemicals. Most important to hydro dip, the main one is the activator. You're gonna need activator. You can make your own out of xylene and stripper, but I tried that, didn't work so well. Get the can, it's pretty expensive, but it's just easy. Now the other chemicals, these are not 100% needed, but if you're gonna do a good job, you gotta do it. You gotta do. Here it is. This is a paint stripper. This is scary. It's very spooky. Here's a skull. Be careful with it. It strips paint. Also strips your skin. So wear gloves and protection with that. You can also use it like a degreaser if we're just gonna paint over something. But after your area is prepped or whatever you're painting, I'm gonna paint airsoft stuff. After your area is prepped, you want to get some primer gray. A little light coat of primer gray, like 1 or 2 coats, just to get it started. And then your undertone, you experiment with different stuff. Generally it's going to be white, because a white background gives you best results, gives you punchy colors, gives you nice whites, because it's clear on the stencil. So I just use a metal white for aluminum. This is what I'm using. You can get this stuff. You're going to hit it with the activator once we go over the steps to your film in the water. Dip it, let it dry, rinse it, and then hit it with some clear coat so you don't ruin your work. Now, as far as films go, these are films. So there's a shiny side and then there's a spooky matte side. As far as finding out, usually the shiny side down. You can lick your finger to kind of feel like, okay, that's sticky, that goes down. But it's generally shiny side out. If you're really nervous, spray some activator on a little portion, and then you can see what is actually dissolving, what's not. Because the not dissolving is the side that's showing, if that makes sense, right? This is the piece I'm gonna dip. It's a M4 Tippmann upper receiver. So I'm gonna go strip this, and I'll show you what it looks before and after. See it start to bubble, but you can kind of see it on the end right there. It's fully stripped. Like, look how easy that was. Boop, 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 just some chemicals. Ready to adhere the hydro dip. So what we're gonna do is hit it with primer, some gray primer. Probably it's like a little bit of a coat since it's pretty stripped. And then hit it with the white for the undercoat. All right, cool tip here is when you're spraying and you don't want to get the wind affected or anything else painted on, put it in a box. Yeah. Put a little string or a piece of wire so you can rotate it so it's not lying flat. Apple extension cords work the best. Don't rag on my cord.
Yours is just a piece of extension cord. Hey dude, he's ragging on your cord.
Shake for a good minute before spraying. Apply super even coats. Should have used wire for this. Alright, so when prepping your hydro dip sheet, what you're gonna need is the sheet, of course, some tape. 1 inch works better. This is kind of hard to work with, and a razor blade. I'm thinking like, yeah, that should work. And you should always tape the matte side up. That's where you're dipping into, laying shiny side down into the water. Now, when finishing the tape, you should leave little notches so that the tape can separate and you can dip in. You can do 2 corners or whatever you think. I just don't tape to that. You can also just cut razor blades along the sides. Okay, so once you're shaking up with your activator, you're gonna want to think about how you're gonna dip. You want to be the material. I'm gonna pinch it. You can also make yourself a little guide of tape or a nail or something, and you want to dip it into the water at a 45-degree angle and try to get as much of the print as possible. I'm gonna go ahead, get the print, and when laying the print in the water, you want to prep your water to be around 82 degrees, but go ahead, just like room temperature water, a bit more warm to the touch, basically. I don't really have the best practice out of this, but you will kind of want to try and fold it so that when it hits the water, you don't get any on the surface. You will your first time, don't worry. You can correct it. You want to lay it flat and knock out any air bubbles as they come up. And the print hydrated. Now you kind of want to do this in a well-ventilated area, but I'm pretty cool, so I'm not. When you're spraying the activator, you want to go side to side to side, and then crisscross. See the other side. So we'll have to dip the other side differently, but we got the main crevice here, which is the hardest part. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the other dipping side. So there it is, how to hydro dip. I hope this helped you out in a pinch and got you to do some more awesome dank skins for your guns. This was my first dip, and then that was my second, third, and then fourth. Progressively got worse as I did more dipping. Now, practice makes perfect, so take your time and don't rush it unless you want that worn, torn look. Might look good. You know, homemade is always better, as they say. So, leave a comment down below if you hydro dipped, and maybe leave a picture of a length or something, and let us see your crazy hydro dips. I'm gonna leave my skin in the description so you can take a look at the patterns that I looked at and maybe you find something you like. Just don't copy mine. Don't copy mine. Have fun. See you on the field.